Welcome back to the European Masters. My name is Chronicle. With me is Troubling, and I was already excited for the game that's going to be coming up, rhuckz versus Movistar, even before we knew that Movistar were going to take a loss to Gamer Legion, because now all of a sudden, group is open, and if you don't make it out of the group, you don't make it to quarterfinals.
If you don't make top 2, you don't make playoffs.
Yes, important, because that's what you want. And you know, if you're the Spanish Shavers here, I'd be a little bit scared for the polished Polish team because they look insane.
They absolutely do. And also, these two teams, they have history because in the first game of the group stage that they played versus each other, it was an absolute bloodbath. It was actually rhuckz understanding that the win condition for Movistar lies within Elyoya. Elyoya makes the team at the start and then the rest follow. He's the carry superstar jungler for the SLO and they tried to choke him down and they did it. They managed it for the majority. rhuckz lost having a gold lead in that game, and that shows because we've talked about Movistar and how easy they are to capitalize on mistakes, to basically cut your hand off if you get close enough with the finger, and then rhuckz has had one or half of a bad fight. Movistar ended the game on that.
And that's the Movistar that we saw last week, the team that no matter what situation they're in, they were looking like they were able to bounce back and actually find the win. But then I'm looking at the Movistar today and I'm seeing constantly going for fights against a composition that is kind of expected to outfight you, not the clean gameplay that we kind of come to expect from them. And in the end, that crucial clutch factor that got them the win against rhuckz last week, it wasn't there. And that is something that I'm really worried about because this is a battle for first place. If you win this game as either Movistar or rhuckz, your chances of making out of the group are looking very good. Whereas if you lose, all of a sudden, you're close to what I imagine is a very hungry Gamer Legion.
I was about to say Gamer Legion is going like this to whichever team loses. And it's even better for them if actually a Go rhuckz loses because they play them at the end of the day. And it's most likely going to be the decider of who is going to take the second seed. So Movistar just want to completely exclude themselves for that. They want to win here and try to make it through straight away.
The pressure on both of these teams is going to be immense, and rhuckz are just coming off of a win, a very, very explosive win, very disciplined, very clean, whereas Movistar, of course, took a great upset in losing against Gamer Legion. Now, in terms of drafts, we see an Orn ban here, which is something that I don't think we've seen a lot. And even though last game it wasn't enough, Movistar Riders says we still have faith in Elyoya, and with how good this guy is, I can't really blame them.
Yeah, and Graves would be kind of like a no-brainer. There's not necessarily a champion that hard counters him. There's been a lot of arguments for Nidalee, but Nidalee has to find you, to fight you first. Nidalee needs to have priority in her lanes to fight you. And Zanzarah doesn't necessarily strike me as the guy who would do that. He's more of the facilitator. The Szygenda is open. You can very well play that. You have Ashe in the bot lane, already priority for you. So it's all set up. Or you can go to something that has just worked for you. He said it was pretty insane, and he went so even in the jungle with the Graves.
I would not be surprised if you just pick up the Orianna here as well, if Movistar don't pick it up, because it worked so well for rhuckz.
Either that, or Xico is just going to take it right here. Because it makes a good case with the Graves as well. You can sort of give him the shield, speed him up. He's going to be kiting much easier if you want to take it away from Czekolad, of course. And I wouldn't necessarily be surprised.
Now, last time this pick didn't work out that well for Harvard. Had the unfortunate fade of being...
He's trying again, man. He's not giving up.
Well, this time, he's probably not going to play into like 4 melees, 4 of which are like semi-tanks or actual tanks. So hopefully he'll have a better time this time, because we know that Harvard can actually hard carry these kind of games. And as a whole, Movistar, I still have faith in them. I think that they do need a decisive win here if they want to like reassert themselves. As you said, as a team where we feel like they're not just going to get out of groups. They actually have a shot at making it all the way, at getting the SLO, their confident win. But they are looking kind of dire after last game. More importantly, it's who they're up against.
I kind of like the draft though here because they're pulling away the Thresh. They're like, if you want to go for a Rakan, you can. Thresh counters him into lane. Thresh roams. together with Rakan so he can follow through. And also you're saving your 2 ADs, which is both the Graves and the Jhin. Do they miss position with the Lantern? Of course, Czekolad had a fantastic performance onto that Orianna, so he's going for it again. I don't blame him. I just loved seeing it. But what I want to see from Movistar right now is that Rakan ban, because it was extremely scary.
It was. And Trymbi has looked excellent in general. One interesting thing, though, is that Rogue this time does pivot away from the Ezreal, which is something they favor time and time again, which means that possibly we're going to see a little bit less tendencies of Trymbi to like really roam as much with Zanzarah as he otherwise would. And of course, Movistar also not a stranger to having Elyoya and rhuckz roam around the map and look for openings. Now, Xico's Azir, not going to play against that. That is something that I can understand, because I feel like if there was one player that made the last game against Gamer Legion feel close, it was Xico.
Oh, absolutely. We were waiting for this huge Azir ultimate to happen. And had he been tiny bit ahead, had he had a death cap, it could have potentially been turned around. You don't want to be taking the 50-50s. You don't want to be saying, what if Xico falls behind again? He won't be able to carry. Because right now, it feels bad, man, with the Orianna in lane. Because you have to go close, you have to last hit, then the Azir is poking you. So get it out of the way instantly and force Xico on something else that is not a control mage.
I'm very curious where the draft is going to go from here, because Rogue, last game, they went for a teamfight style thus far. They've been kind of pivoted towards that, and the Tahm Kench would really solidify that. Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan at all, because I just really enjoy the playmaking potential from Trymbi.
Yeah.
I loved his Rakan. He's always been roaming the map together with Zanzarah to get Czekolad ahead, to get Szygenda ahead. I understand obviously that you have to give the counter pick to Szygenda in the top lane, but the Tahm Kench here, I'm like, sure, Abyssal Voyage, I guess. Okay.
If you think about high impact, flashy...
It's kind of like a Twisted Fate with a backpack.
Yeah, but then you're bottling fish instead of, like, actually having
It's a Twisted Fate with a backpack, Chronicler.
Okay, I'll take it. Sure. I'm trying to think about how I would really... What do you even say? A Twisted Fate? Sure, Twisted Fate with a backpack.
Yeah, Twisted Fate moves across the map on his own.
Okay, yes,
but
Xico.
the SLO love their Leblancs.
Mm-hmm.
And Xico has actually dismantled Knight when he was playing Leblanc.
Yep.
So I don't think Czekolad is going to be that easy to walk into lane with a call this time.
No, I don't think he
might
should try
have to go on these mercs instantly. Oh, yes.
That is a pick.
Yes.
Yeah, that is going to create a lot of action. And it is... Watching Szygenda on the carries, it's really nice. It's beautiful. It's a sight to behold. And we focused a lot on Szygenda, but it was really Czekolad, as you already pointed out, combined with the rest of Rogue, who was pivotal, rather, in winning that game.
I think this time it tips up on top lane again.
Yeah.
So last time it was Czekolad, now it's going to be Szygenda, because he's playing the Camille, man. Szygenda is known for the Camille. He's playing against beansu. Beansu's taking a more laid-back, usually, approach to it, because you have Elyoya, Xico, and JaVaaa. You're like a triple threat team. You don't need beansu to play a carry as well. Now on the Gangplank, he's going to be a carry later on, but he can just chill back and relax. It's going to be up to Zanzarah and Szygenda finding the picks on that top side, setting the Gangplank behind, and also setting up Szygenda for that split push.
And setting up Szygenda is a generally pretty good way to win. And they also, in that, vein, I understand the Tahm Kench. Just get the safety, right? Keep him safe.
I still don't like Tahm Kench.
Make sure Woolite can play the game. I get it. Just, you're going to give up a lot of agency, but that is just something that you're going to have to accept. Movistar Riders and Rogue. It's the Ultra Liga versus the SLO. Both teams currently 3-1. And winner takes first place in this group. Coming into this day, it's not something that I think a lot of us expected with the amazing upset the Gamer Legion found. There's even more tension in this game than there would otherwise be.
Oh, you don't want to be getting anywhere near Gamer Legion right now. You don't want to be the team that loses here. Not because you're not necessarily getting first seed, but because Gamer Legion is right on your tracks, and they've looked phenomenal in that first game.
Sorry, Spooky. Even though Spooky didn't have the most amazing game, unfortunately, last game, and Rogue was too strong for him. Are they going to be too strong for Movistar as well, or was it just a one-off fluke game from Movistar? Are they going to bounce back with the vigor that we've kind of come to expect from them, as domestically, Movistar just have not been touched? No one can match them, not even remotely.
And the thing is, I love that you mentioned domestically, because the SLO was still going on while we had a week off for EU Masters. These guys were not just getting scrims, they were getting official games in the SLO that they could practice everything they wanted on.
Yeah, they were 6-0. They just won. They just played 6 games and won them all. It's a pretty good sign as we see some early training coming through. And I saw Xico's Leblanc last week as well. That is not something that is very fun to play against.
Don't want to mess with it.
No, he knows his limits very well, and will kill you if you are not remotely careful. But Czekolad, of course, not a laner to scoff at in his own way. Now, what can we expect from the early game?
I don't think, again, there's much that's going to be going on. You usually, if you're Elyoya, you want to play around Xico, because you see that Xico is able to push the lane, he's able to punish Czekolad, which means that wherever Elyoya chooses to move, you can take the Leblanc with you and sort of bully Zanzarah away from his jungle. This is why you saw Zanzarah started on the top side, get these Wraiths up and going, take them away, because, you know, they're very susceptible to be stolen away by a Graze, and due to Xico having so much prior in the mid lane, you want to make sure you stay as far away as possible.
That was actually a really nice hawk shot and didn't even find anyone. Is that enough? But it might be enough information just by the path that you see.
Yeah, you see basically which camps are cleared, so you know where his top side because you see the red buff gone, you see the Wraiths are gone. On the other hand, if we're talking Rogue, I just want to see all for one. I want to see Zanzarah going up the top lane for Szygenda. I want to see this Camille skyrocketing into the mid game. I want to see the Jhin early on, because right now she's sort of getting bullied by beansu on the Gangplank.
Early levels of Gangplank, not too great to play against the true damage burn.
Oh, no.
And this is the kind of stuff that you want to do. You have recognized the carry last time.
Xico's going to go through a ward, though.
It was the other way around. Szygenda off on his own here is able to heal a little bit with the tactical sweep, but with Xico there as well. I don't know how long he can stay alive. Teleport is available, but they're not even going to bother. Szygenda stays alive for a really long time. In the end, it's going to be first blood with a attempt at a return kill in bot lane, but it's not enough. Movistar Ride is making a statement here with first blood.
That was great stuff right there from Movistar. You see Rogue tried to pull the trigger. It didn't necessarily work for them. But what Szygenda did very well there is he blew the flashes of both Elyoya and beansu. Now, it's going to have to be beansu being scared of Zanzarah running up there. What I didn't see, though, was that bot lane attempt for a dive, because I see that Zanzarah has also lost his flash, so it might not be as easy to catch beansu on the top side. So all in all, I feel like Movistar have got the upper hand.
To be fair, if there's one character where you don't care that you don't have your flash, it's Hackstack Sett. Right? Like, if there's one situation where, like, it's a bit unfortunate, right? I'd rather have for some summoners.
It was more like about Zanzarah trying to cut beansu in the top lane, flashing for that face breaker, and he's not going to have the ability to do that right now. Fish in the face.
Yep.
Minion in the face.
Yeah.
With a fish flavor.
Trymbi not having any chill, making sure that Hava can't back that, and that's actually quite annoying for him. It's going to keep him in the lane a lot longer.
And I like that from Woolite and Trymbi, because they need to stay. The Ashe has pretty okay back timers, because she can go back and just grab long swords or attack speed daggers, she doesn't care. But usually you'll see Jhin wanting to go back on a BF sword. If you keep bullying him, if he has to leave his lanes, Czekolad.
Czekolad really respects Xico.
He saw rhuckz and Elyoya coming in. So
I like that flash.
Back to the Jhin. Hava's going to have to take a back timer where he buys the BF sword for his build. This is why Woolite and Trymbi are pushing him. They're pushing him basically in a back that's not beneficial. Woolite is back with a BF sword.
Woolite going to feel very, very good about the state of the lane. And that's versus Swifties.
Boots.
Yeah, that means Hava's just going to,
It's very fast.
Yeah, but he's not going to try and interact with the Ashe, because that's not going to go very well. And Czekolad's respect for Xico also said a lot about the caliber of player that you're dealing with. Of course, with the roam from rhuckz and Elyoya also coming in, just need to respect that. Can't really get any snowball on this Leblanc.
So that is 2 lanes that Elyoya can choose and look to fight in. Czekolad, no flash. Szygenda, even juicier, because he has no teleport either.
It's action brewing, but I can also just see it's a Leblanc with flash. I'm not sure if we can really do anything here. It looks like that will be the case, as top lane, that early dive really, really
they're going up
coming to
again.
fruition. And they're going again. And this is interesting because this time Zanzarah is there. He doesn't know that he is going to get greeted by 2 people coming into his jungle.
Oh,
We'll spot
no.
them now. And he's actually in a fairly safe position as he does get chained. Still has the Haymaker available. He's going to try and get underneath his turret. And I think that's going to be the end of it because a 3 versus 2 dive against this is a little bit of a risk.
And look at that. While this is going on, JaVaaa and rhuckz have actually moved into the mid lane to try and push so Czekolad doesn't get free plates in the mid lane. They deny this from the Orianna, and then they're also going to make their way down bot lane and try to cash in there as well. I do like this play coming in from Movistar because I don't necessarily think that... Oh!
This is a lot of damage on Trymbi. He is in turret range. Still has the Grey Elf available. Will give himself a shield, but there comes the Cannon Barrage. In the end, it's not enough to flash forward from JaVaaa in an attempt to get it. Now Woolite looking for the retaliation.
He's tanked the whole Gangplank gold.
He doesn't care. He's not afraid. And all in all, gold fairly even, but you can sense the tension in this game. Don't forget, number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. These 2 teams have a rivalry between the 2 of them, and the winner takes number 1 in this group.
I can see the respect, actually, between these 2 teams on the Rift, because they're playing on the edge, and you see that when they're right on the edge and they could lose it all but win it all, they just pull back. They don't want to take the 50-50. They don't want to take the risk of losing that early, so they're just going to allow each other a little bit of room. Don't forget, in the previous game that we saw Rogue versus Sapap, Rogue allowed Sapap to get the first dragon. They allowed them the first Rift Herald, and then they played on the win conditions. You see here, we said a Woolite with the BF sword versus JaVaaa with the boots. That means that the Ashe is going to be able to take more trades. You see that the Orianna... Czekolad's Orianna is going into a different path. We haven't necessarily seen the tier coming out first. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see even a Luden's Echo. I don't know if he wants to go for the tier, a second item. Right now it helps him more on the trades because he gets the AP in with a lost chapter, and it's kind of scary if you go tier on the Orianna versus Leblanc, because you won't be able to trade as easy.
Yep.
And you won't have the raw power of your shield to protect you from the Leblanc as well.
Don't have a lot of threat, and I can imagine that you're looking for an item that spikes maybe a little bit earlier, because I think Movistar is not a team that you can give too much space. If you give them too much space, they're going to snowball on you. And this is where we see Elyoya actually find a big lead, right, against the Sett. Because we saw this matchup before, a very different picture done.
Hey, he's almost 20 CS ahead, 9 minutes in. Zanzarah is the one playing catch-up now. It's not that easy for him. But then again, you cannot let Elyoya run away with it. You see that Movistar have fully reset. Everyone has got 1 control ward in their inventory, and they're looking now to play for the top side of the map. Very clinical from the SLO's first seed right here, taking the dragon, moving their bot lane to the top side, and now going for that Rift Herald with 5 control wards in their pockets.
Tension is brewing in this game, and Zanzarah is going to go for the first play. Flashes in on top of rhuckz, who's trying to stall for as long as he can. Reinforcements are on their way. We see Elyoya and Xico coming into the river, but JaVaaa catch down, will get taken down. There's the first kill coming through with Trymbi. Little bit overextended as Xico goes in, finds Czekolad. Or does he? He gets out somehow, and Trymbi is now finding the rest of the team. Elyoya flashes forward, and maybe a little bit of an attempt to save their own has backfired here, but Czekolad yet again, these shockwaves are not okay as they chase them down. No mana bars, no damage available, and Movistar Riders is going to fall behind against rhuckz, get the better end of this skirmish.
The discipline, the patience that a Go Rogue are showing on the Rift are insane! I'm going mad, I'm thinking, use your shockwave, use your shockwave. No! He's using it so perfectly. Woolite might be in a lot of trouble. He does have his plus available if he needs it. He doesn't even... They have no chill, like you say. They have absolute...
No,
these
Woolite
guys,
has chill.
No, they have no blood running in their veins. These guys are cold.
Yeah. The Frosty Archer is doing an incredible job here. Now you're against a 3-0 Ashe.
I want to see that replay, because what you didn't see in this fight was the face breaker from Zanzarah to stop the lantern from JaVaaa. That was absolutely beautiful. And Rogue managed to pull ahead in gold. This is what they want, get that Ashe ahead. And then Woolite is going to be such a big factor in zoning them away. Saying that though, they were the last ones to survive, the last ones to reset, so Movistar are able to get the Herald.
And it just feels like highlight play after highlight play from Czekolad on the Orianna here. And I think these are the types of games where, as an enemy, you go, maybe we should maybe we should just not let him have that anymore. And Movistar, they've been behind against Rogue. Last time Rogue didn't get away with it. Movistar narrowly escaped a loss. But imagine if they lose this game and then it's in Game Allegiance's hand, because if they win all the rest of their games, then all of a sudden it's looking really dire. And that's not something that I would have expected at the start of this day.
Absolutely not, but I have to say, I'm really excited for this game that we're playing right now because both of these teams are fired up and ready to fight it all tooth and nail on the Rift. They've both been fighting from the very beginning. Xico on his Leblanc, very crucially, has not taken off yet, which gives a lot of room to Czekolad to try and get his defensive items in, survive the laning phase, and then get these game-breaking shockwaves that we saw in the top side of the map as well.
If you don't make it out of your group, you don't go to quarterfinals.
Are you quoting Medic?
No
if you
comments.
don't make top two,
No
you
comments.
don't make
No
playoffs.
I mean, you want to make playoffs, right? You want to get to the quarters, and neither the #1 seed, definitely not the #1 seed of the SLO, is going to be happy, but Rogue is feeling the same way. They want to get out of this group. They need to get out of this group. And the pressure on both these teams thus far has paid off more for Rogue. They seem to be able to handle a little bit more, but we need to not overreact, because when it comes down to the actual leads, it's only 700-800 gold.
This is more than the game we're just watching. This is more than the first seed. This is the SLO. This is Movistar making a case, getting revenge for Ultra Legal, knocking them out in Spring Split on semi-final. It was kickback then, and a Go Rogue are following through with the tradition.
That loss must have hurt, and Rogue don't want to see Movistar's take the win this time. They want to repeat history as the teleport is going to come in from Szygenda. That is an immediate pickup on top of beansu. I don't think they can take him away. He flashes over, but Szygenda finds him. And in the end, that will be a kill, will be the pickup. Xico goes in, maybe looking for
just having a look.
cheeky steal. Just checking, making sure. Are they still doing Drake? They are still doing Drake.
Excuse me, sirs, do you have a second to talk to you about my Leblanc for a minute?
I would really like that Drake. And they're like, no, no, we're not giving you the Drake. Rogue. The decisiveness, the discipline, we saw it last game and we're seeing it again.
This is very clinical. We allow the first dragon to go through, we know where our power spikes lie, we know where we want to fight, we allow the herald to go through. Now that we're ahead, now that we have the gold lead, now that Woolite is fed, now we're gonna start forcing the fights. They have the engage, they have the tools, they have the lockdown, and Movistar are playing catch up at this point.
Now, this is something that Movistar have excelled at. As we keep saying, they're a team that you can't give an inch. You can't give them even no matter how far behind they are. As it's again, it's free man.
The trio of success.
You need free man to take down Szygenda, but he might very well go down. He just needs to stall for as long as he can. As the Hextech ultimate available, flashes out. And Czekolad, in the end, not enough sustain available to keep his teammate alive. Elyoya will be the sacrificial lamb, and Czekolad is going to go big on Xico. Doesn't find him in the end. He keeps chasing, he forces the flash, and meanwhile in the bot lane, there's another skirmish going on. Kurtingall gets used. But Woolite and Trymbi are not afraid at all, and this is first turret blood, and if they're not careful, it might be more! How long are they going to fight underneath this turret? That's already half going down.
Czekolad!
The munch! The kill! As Woolite grabs it, he flashes a little bit awkwardly, but in the end it's enough. And Rogue are looking incredible.
You thought they were diving Rogue. Szygenda had it all figured out. He survives long enough for the cavalry to arrive. They're killing the bot lane, they're killing the mid lane, they're killing the jungle, they're killing everyone. You said it yourself. If I was Movistar and I saw the previous game from Rogue, I'd be so extremely scared. Czekolad might be scared too.
Yeah, I think Czekolad is really scared as Xico finds him, and last time it went well, this time it will not go well. So the shutdown comes through, money will go to beansu on the Gangplank. Very happy with that gold. My main point being, it's such a good year to be a fan of Polish League of Legends, because they're looking insane.
The Ultra League are getting the third seed and they're looking like they deserve it because they're so strong. Look at all the poke from Woolite. Woolite is a whole item ahead at this point. They can do whatever they please in the bot side. They're pretty much a straight up diver.
This discipline as well.
Well, this is going on. Czekolad also chases Xico in the top lane and kills him off too. It's a display of skill.
It's such a pure display. And the thing is, it feels like even if someone does get taken down, there's immediate retaliation. Because every time we've seen a kill, there's been follow-up. There's been something that they gain in advance.
that was literally the whole map fighting.
Yeah.
Top, mid, and bot were fighting at the same time.
So
you see
action.
how these two teams really want it.
And once again, Movistar are looking for it. Are they not? Biting off more than they can chew again. Woolite, a lot of damage on rhuckz, but Elyoya is coming in for the flank. The tanking comes through from Zanzarah. Curtain's caught, and they have a lot of sustain available, but I'm not sure whether Sett is this tanky. Last shot on the curtain goal is gonna be held for very long, and is gonna be dodged. And with Czekolad there as well, I don't think you can overchase this one, Movistar.
It's a 4v5, but Czekolad is so strong right now that you cannot necessarily make the move to try and dive another tower. It didn't go well last time. Just wait until you have your power spikes. It's only 2,000 gold that's separating these two teams, and then it's enough scaling on the side of Movistar to say, okay, we chill now because we scale. Rogue doesn't want to allow that though.
They're not having any of it, and they are going to go really, really
Xico?
deep. They won't let them. Xico goes in with the poke, follow up with the cannon barrage as well. Woolite needs to respect it because the Leblanc damage is absurd, and we know how dangerous he is. In the end, they will pick up the Rift Herald, and despite the smite, not enough to cancel it. Xico, though, might be the sacrificial lamp, and that is looking for him, but
Where
it's a
did the fish
LeBlanc.
go? Oh,
So incredibly slippery, and I'm not sure, as a Woolite, do you really want to find Xico, or does Xico find you? We know the turn potential available with the LeBlanc, and he goes the other way, yet again, and he will get spotted by the wards as he goes over. Xico, are you kidding me? This man is insane. I have no words.
This is the LeBlanc player that we have in the league, so if this guy couldn't pull this off, I don't know who would, but I just want to give props on how careful Woolite is playing. He has a 650 gold bounty on his head. He's 5-0. You definitely don't want to be giving away kills and bounties over to Xico. And if there was one ADC in my head that plays extremely careful all the time while having the most damage output, that would be Woolite. The way he plays his Ezreal, the way he plays the Ashe, the way he plays the more supportive, let's say, ADCs is insane. It enables his team, it enables Szygenda to go in and carry, Czekolad to go in and carry, and just the cohesion of Rogue, it just looks too clean. On the other hand, though, being too clean is bread and butter for breakfast from Movistar because they beat the clean with over-aggression.
It's 2.6k that Rogue are currently up. They are looking towards this Drake.
It's probably only Ashe.
Yeah, I don't think that they can really contest this. And they're looking to rotate towards top and pick up some objectives there. But Rogue are currently in the lead for this game. What do Movistar need to do? Is it finding Woolite? Is that enough? Because then I look at Czekolad, then I look at Szygenda, and I'm like, if the game progresses, those guys can hard carry as well.
I'm pretty sure that Xico can actually take a side lane in the end. I feel like the Jhin, Thresh, and Graves is a pretty strong trio to sit in the mid lane while you're allowing the splitters. At this point, I don't necessarily think their carries are strong enough to try and pull a fight. You kind of have to play towards the side lane, have Xico together with Elyoya shadowing him, probably on a side lane, try to pick Szygenda or Czekolad while they're trying to push in the wave. It's picks that will make Movistar come back into this game because they don't necessarily have the heavy engage to stay in a fight or engage a fight themselves.
And that might be a problem as you get further and further into the game, right? Because we've seen how much easier it is to actually find the big plays if you are the one who can pull the trigger. Because if you're not able to do that, you're always going to be fighting on your opponent's terms. And against Rogue, without it playing thus far, I wouldn't feel too comfortable with that.
Yeah, the hard thing is that when you're playing a Leblanc, when you're playing an assassin, and that assassin doesn't necessarily fall behind because she's even with Czekolad, but if you don't necessarily pop off and your opponents are allowed to build defensive items. Right here, you see that Czekolad does have the Seraphs completed. You see Woolite, he bought the Hexdringer, he's not falling anytime soon. You see Zanzarah, he's most likely going for the Solari to try and help his team stay alive through the burst. So there's going to be so many tools and items that are coming in to stop Xico from doing that much damage.
Xico finds Zanzarah.
Hello, Cancer, can I talk to you about something?
Hello, you took my Drake. Actually, never mind. I'm a little bit scared of you. Zanzarah finds a sidestep, and it is Rogue dictating the pace, but with how the last game went, you can never count out Movistar. Hava gets taken very low. Xico goes in deep, and will be taking a lot of damage. They're throwing a lot here on Zanzarah, and in the end, he will be taken very, very low. Xico doesn't find the damage this time.
No.
And rhuckz now, surely he will get taken down as the kill is found by Czekolad. Rogue, no their limits so well.
They have no blood. I'm telling you, there's no blood keeping them warm. They're absolutely
They don't
cold.
die.
They just don't die. Szygenda has been pushing the whole time in that bot lane. He knew he wasn't needed for Rogue to do this because the team fight that's coming out of Rogue is so far more superior than Movistar. Xico needs to find an opening for then Movistar to force something, and it's just not possible due to the item discrepancy that's happening between these two teams right now. Everyone is protected. You see the Solari might come in from even Trymbi. There's just so much magic resist. The only one who doesn't have magic resist is Szygenda, and he doesn't even care because she's not even there. He's just in the side lane.
Yeah. And eventually with the Camille, you're going to reach a point where almost no one can really make a take a good shot at you, although with how good Xico is...
I mean, you can try, and then Rogue are going to pull the trigger on a Baron.
As a Xico, and you can kind of starting to, I feel like some desperation from Movistar as well, as they might be looking for an engage on Zanzarah yet again. Elyoya standing in the flank, but has been scouted out. Xico going for a little bit of poke. And he's trying, and he needs to. Zanzarah flashes over. There is the Hextech ultimatum coming down on rhuckz. The arrow not finding anyone, and maybe Rogue oversteps this time as the Camille gets almost taken down, but Trymbi having a pivotal position there. Shockwave finds rhuckz. The re-engage comes through, and yet again, Rogue keep getting away with this.
It's impossible, and they're one more.
They're not even satisfied yet. They keep looking, they keep searching. And the only people getting caught are Trymbi, who doesn't care because he's Kench.
Szygenda should have died. 10 times he should have died there.
Right?
But he was in such a small spot where Trymbi was able to walk in, gobble him up, and then spit him back out. And then after that happened, and Movistar knew that they didn't have any more engage to follow up with, Rogue re-engaged on them because they had even more tools. Xico has a lot of tools to get away. He might not have his flash, but he has his ultimate and he has his W as well. He'll be able to get out.
None of he goes in.
He doesn't have his W.
There is the Hex Flash coming in from Zanzarah. No CC chain though, due to the nice distortion out, and now rhuckz immediately looking for the re-engage. But I'm scared of these re-engages because it feels like Movistar is doing or trying to do what they've done every single time, which is fight back, bounce back, find an opening. But then it turns out it's not an opening, it's a bait from Rogue.
Thing is, even if rhuckz gets a great hook on someone, does Xico have the damage to eliminate them instantly? No. And if he doesn't, that means you don't necessarily have any consistent damage because JaVaaa is playing the Jhin. He's trying to create space for you to work with onto the Leblanc and the Graves, but if you can't execute anyone, the hook that you landed doesn't necessarily mean anything, while Rogue can keep on re-engaging after re-engaging after re-engaging on you and try to find picks and brute force on you. They are only 3,000 gold in the lead, but the builds and the items they have feel like this is a 10k lead for Rogue.
Drake now being done by Zanzarah, this third Drake, Soul Point just giving over nearly with it because they can't actually do anything about it. They have vision. They know this is happening.
You can't walk in.
But it's impossible. This is the #1 seed from the SLO. A team that went 6-0 in the domestic playoffs.
Went 3-0 in the first week.
And they're looking like they're about to be dismantled by the second league of the Ultra League. The Ultra League with such a blowout performance last EUM. There was the possibility for an all-Polish finals. And if I'm seeing the performance from Rogue here, if I'm seeing how well Kick has played thus far, I would not be surprised if we're getting close to that yet again now. All in all, Movistar Riders have won a game where they were further behind, but how are they going to do that, Trouble?
I think it's extremely hard with the composition they have right now. Xico needs to find an opening, but who's going to be your target? It has to be Szygenda. You have to get Szygenda out of the way and then prey on a 4v5 that you can win due to Fog of War. You see now that Xico's moving down there, but Szygenda instantly respects that.
And this, of course, is also the inevitability with the Camille. If you reach your items, doesn't matter if you're 0-2, right? You got dive twice. You don't care.
I think he's giving the KDA lead over Czekolad on this in this day.
Yeah. I'm sure Czekolad's very happy about it. Although Woolite might also be making a strong case here with the 6-0-3 Ashe.
Very pretty skin.
Gorgeous.
Wait.
Hello.
It's coming in.
Hello. Szygenda getting a little bit of reinforcement.
Thank you,
find
observers.
Xico! Woolite, are you kidding me? And Szygenda immediately finds the follow-up kill, but is now stuck alone here. The teleports comes through. Movistar Riders, they look for the kills. And they will be able to trade at least 1-for-1. Now Czekolad on the chase. The box providing enough defensive capabilities here for Movistars to engage. But that was a tense moment with what looked like a clean dive at the start.
There were two people smurfing it right there. One was Woolite, throwing that arrow from base, and the second one is our observers for catching this on such a close-up. That was absolutely beautiful by the Rogue ADC. He's making a case of who can hit more arrows from far away, from like halfway across the map. Is it going to be Pukistar or is it going to be Woolite? It doesn't matter because they're both from the Ultra Liga.
Yeah, the amount of accuracy on that is absolutely insane. Ultra Liga is making such a strong statement, and we keep getting back to this because it's so impressive. Because we expected Movistar to be fine today, not have any difficulties, and here we are.
Honestly, I'll turn it around. We talked about when is Ultra Liga happy? When are they satisfied they go to third seed? We've seen Pompa, they're a little bit underwhelming, sure. But like, if Pompa, let's say they never make it out, and then there's Rogue and Kick, when are we satisfied? Because they made semis and one team made finals.
Only one way.
There's two ways. Either having, well, if you're having an all-final, all-Polish final, then you're gonna have a Polish victory. So, yeah, you're right. There's only one way. It's the victory.
You want the win.
Yeah, you want the win.
You'll take nothing but the win. And
I think they're making a good statement for it.
Czekolad is very lonely here. Fortunately, help is coming for him. Facebreaker finds Elyoya, an incredibly important target as the arrow this time goes wide. Zanzarah gets hooked, but he doesn't really care. Szygenda needs to respect the damage coming through from Xico. In the end, Elyoya does go down, and now the chase comes through yet again. Curtain is called here as Trymbi is going to take those shots. Szygenda goes forward, find the Hextech automate, double Xico. Cannon Barrage goes through. Are they going to get to kill on Xico? It's such a pivotal target. They get no kills as of yet, but I'm sure beansu is going to get taken down in the very end as the flash tongue lash comes through. And Rogue are chasing Movistar Riders down. They're going towards the Baron. They're looking towards the Soul. And are Movistar Riders really going to lose their #1 spot in this group?
They look like it. The plan was get Elyoya to shadow Xico. They're gonna make their last stand on this Baron, because if they lose it, it's game.
You can't afford to give this up. Xico, the man, is an absolute hero. We've seen him time and again. But so is Szygenda. He finds the blow up. And in the end, the precision protocol, but will way too much damage. Now Hava also going down if he's not careful. The backpack is there as the chase is so strong here from Rogue. Flashes are forced. Damage is done. With a nice hook there from rhuckz, he's going to get taken down himself, and Trymbi's Devour means no follow-up, no return kills, and Rogue are looking dominant here.
I think Rogue is the best team-fighting-oriented composition team that we have in EG Masters right now. That was the plan. It was get Xico, get Elyoya to shadow him, try to pick off Czekolad or Szygenda. Czekolad survives way too long though, the cavalry's coming in, everyone is backing them up, and Zanzarah even backs off for Czekolad to get the last hit onto the target, and from there, no, it's just a chase journey, trying to get as many picks as possible, just to make the Baron much easier for them. And I believe that we might see the last stand right here. Szygenda is onto something. Right in the bot left corner.
In the end, the Lantern is coming through.
Oh, there's more.
And they'll keep him alive for now, but at what cost, as Elyoya is chunked very deeply and giving him the Mountain Soul for Leblanc. Playing against a Mountain Soul was not a fun experience.
You know what? The game is over. Medgeist has been purchased.
Oh yeah, that is a...
that's a game breaker.
It's a 10-page thriller that Czekolad has currently in his inventory, and are they just going to end the game here? They're pushing through, they're making the case, they go for the shockwave, Hava goes down, and Movistar Riders is the #1 seed of the SLO, really going to get dethroned here, or are they able to find a final stand here? Movistar Riders, it was looking so good for them, but the inhibitor goes down, Szygenda finds a kill, they chase him down, and there is nothing that can stop Rogue towards taking the first place in this group. Movistar Riders in shambles as the Ultra Liga crushes their hope yet again, with Rogue showing dominant performance after dominant performance, and I am simply in awe of what is being showed here by the Ultra Liga.
I think you set it up perfectly when you said, if I'm Movistar, I fumbled on my first game of the day, and I saw Rogue playing that decisive versus Zappa, what's gonna happen? Well, I'll tell you what, the same discipline, the same respect that Rogue showed to Zappa, they also showed to Movistar, who, in a caliber situation, Movistar are much higher on the books, right? They showed the exact same respect. And they're getting the respect of the world as well, because this is a team that's not coming here to play. They're not coming here to BM you, tell you that you're a worse team than them. They'll play you the same way. And they're shining right now. And I feel like it's kind of like adding insult to injury right here, because Movistar got knocked out in the semis, spring split from the Ultraliga.
It's do or die.
That kind of brings back memories.
It does. It's do or die. It's all or nothing. These are the matches that you need to win. And if you don't have your day, we said it at the start, you might be in for a rough time. But then the fact that it's Movistar of all teams, the teams that were looking so good. They were 3-0 after the first week. Yes, there was some risk, but in the end, they always pulled through. Yes. I mean, incredible. We have a lot to talk about, but we're going to do that after a short break. But don't go anywhere.